Guys, it's our final mock draft, full first round mock draft before the actual NFL draft. And I'm not doing trades. I know there will be trades, but I'm not going to do trades. I'm just going to do it straight up. First pick, the 32nd pick, how I think the first round will go. Of course, this will not be exactly because there will be trades in the first round, as always. So I think it will be Cam Ward starting off first pick. I think that's pretty much guaranteed. Cam Ward himself has said it's pretty much guaranteed. Then I think it's going to be Travis Hunter to the Brownies. I don't think they're going to go with Abdul Carter. Ironically enough, they're going to actually probably use Travis Hunter more as a wide receiver than they will a cornerback. We're going to go Abdul Carter to the New York Giants. New England Patriots, I think this will be a pick of Will Campbell. Work on the offensive line, protect their young quarterback, and kind of, do that moving forward. Jacksonville, I'm going to have them go with McMillan at 5. Which I think McMillan is a weird player right now. His average draft position is anywhere from 10. His average draft position on PFF is 10. But, I've seen him get drafted later on, 15, 20. I think they're going to probably overreach for him. And I'm going to have them go with him at 5. Raiders are going to go with Ashton Genty. This leaves a perfect scenario here for Mason Graham to go right over to the New York Jets. You could also see a team trade up for Mason Graham. He is that good. So potentially a team trades up and tries to get him. I'm going to have the Panthers actually go with Jalen Walker. This is a very popular mock draft opinion. I think they will go ahead and go for Jalen Walker there. The Saints, I think that they're going to go for Sanders. I think that's going to be their option. Bears on the clock. I think the Bears are going to go Walter Nolan, which is really going to tick off a lot of us fans because I would love for Walter Nolan to be available when we pick. But I think it's going to be kind of like the Byron Murphy II situation last year where he's off the board before we pick, sadly. So I think they're going to end up going with him. I think Armand is going to end up going to the 49ers. I think the Cowboys are going to go wide receiver here. And I think they're going to go with Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas. Miami Dolphins. Then they go with Barron. Colts, I'm going to have them go with Tyler Warren. Falcons on the board. This is where I could see something crazy happening. And by crazy is what I mean is this. This is where I think Shamar Stewart is going to end up going. It's going to be way earlier than his average draft position. And it's, again, this weird concept with him where he goes ups, down, peaks, and valleys on different places. And I think he's going to go there. Then Will Johnson ends up going to the Cardinals. And I think that this is going to be an interesting pick. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Starks is even in the conversation in real life in this pick when it comes to how the Bengals are going to look at this. This is really going to be between Mike Green, Jahad Campbell, and Kenneth Grant. Those are the 3 options that this would be between. I'm going to have them go Mike Green from Marshall. I think Jahad Campbell is a really good pick, though, too. But I think they end up going Mike Green from Marshall here. And I think that's kind of the way they go about this. Which, I'll be honest with you, I would also love Jihad Campbell. So, either option would have been a good option there. I think Greg Zabel goes there. Buccaneers, I think that's when we're going to see Jihad Campbell go. Broncos on the clock. I'm going to have them go with... this is where I could see them kind of reaching for Scatterbo, but I'm going to have them take Hampton. Steelers, I think that they're going to take Jackson Dart. Chargers, let me think. See, this is where they could go edge. They need defensive line. Now I'm kind of in a weird spot here. I'm going to go Kenneth Grant. We're going to go Kenneth Grant here. Packers, another team that needs wide receiver. They also need edge rusher. I'm going to go Donovan. Vikings, if I'm like right to this point, I will be beyond heavily surprised. So I really do not expect to be right at this point. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna go with the fact of if I'm right at this point, then the world might end, okay? Because there's gonna be trades that happen in some capacity way before we get to this point in any way. See, this is where I'm kind of on the fence. Because they running back, defensive line, and defensive back is their positional needs. I don't think they're going to go Starks, to be honest. I don't think they would go wide receiver. This is defensive line. See, now we get in. I could see them going Benjamin Morrison or Trey Amos. Those are two players I could see them going with. I'm going to have them go with Trey Amos. I don't love that pick, but I'm going to have to go Trey Amos there, in all honesty. Texans. They need to protect their offensive line. This is where I think they probably go with someone like Tyler Booker. I'm going to go Tyler Booker here. Colston Loveland to the Rams. I would love for the Ravens to end up taking an absolute L pick. I think they might take Starks, which would really hurt me inside if they ended up getting Starks. But I don't think that Starks is going to be on their radar right now. They do need a safety, though. They did just re-sign Darius Washington, but they do need a safety in the end. Who do we got here? Kelvin Banks, projected as a starting tackle guard. I think they're going to go offensive line. That's where I'm going to have them go here, is offensive line. Lions. James Pierce Jr. Washington Commanders. Let me think. Do need offensive line is another position they could use. I'm going to have them take Conley Jr. Bills. Edge, linebacker, and corner. I don't know why I'm having Starks drop so freaking far, but I do feel like he will drop to some capacity. I'm having to go with Nick Scorton. Josh Simpson. Oh, Simmons, not Simpson, Simmons. And then Eagles, I think, will take Starks. That's kind of just how I see it fitting out. Brownies now in the second round. I think that they're going to go with Milroe. Giants. Will Howard way too early to take. I could see them taking Will Howard, though. I'm not doing the second round, guys. So that's my first round mock draft, okay? That is my final predictions. I might be completely incorrect on all of these. I might not get a single one right, but we'll see. This is how I think the first round will go. Some of these got a little crazy at the end, okay? Definitely got a little crazy at the end of this, but tell me down below your thoughts, opinions, and what's your first round mock draft? Peace out, guys.